On Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy podcast, Kim straight up called her relationship with Kanye West toxic, and she didn't hold back. We're talking giving away Lamborghinis during episodes, emotional chaos, and a house so unpredictable she said she never knew who she was waking up to. And baby, this might just be the most honest Kim has ever been about yeah. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into Kim's toxic marriage to Kanye West, her emotional escape, and how their daughter North is now trying to play matchmaker for her mama. But here's the kicker. Kim says someone close to her tried to have her killed. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's unpack everything. Now, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West weren't just a couple, they were a pop culture empire. From that 2014 wedding in Italy to running fashion weeks, presidential campaigns, and full-on Yeezy chaos, they were the moment. But behind the Balenciaga shades and private jets, things were falling apart faster than Kanye's tweets in 2020. Kim filed for divorce in early 2021, and by November 2022, it was official. And since then, Kim's been trying to move on, dated Pete Davidson for a bit, we'll get into that. But today, she's opening up in a way that has everyone saying, wait, she said what on a podcast? So on Call Her Daddy, Kim told Alex Cooper she tends to only remember the good, which, let's be real, sounds like every woman trying to rationalize dating a creative genius who also thought slavery was a choice. Kim said, I'm a really forgiving person, but I really haven't dated like that. Like those kinds of toxic relationships since I've been divorced. Translation, she's done with the chaos. She went on to say, when you get older, you just don't tolerate that, so you don't have time. And honey, at 44, she's done playing therapist to millionaires with God complexes. But this is where it gets wild. Kim shared that during Kanye's episodes, which she referenced carefully, he'd literally give away their cars. As in, I'd come home and the 5 Lamborghinis were gone. Just poof. And when she'd ask where they went, Kanye allegedly said he gave them to his friends, because apparently, Ye was out here playing Oprah with Lambos. Kim said, I didn't know what you're gonna get when you wake up, and that's a really unsettling feeling. And baby, that's the kind of sentence that says everything without saying it. Kim admitted she ignored some red flags because when Kanye first started struggling with mental health, she wanted to help. She said, when someone has their first mental break, you want to be super supportive. And that's real. Anyone who's ever loved someone with a mental illness knows that line between helping them and losing yourself. But according to Kim, Kanye wasn't willing to make changes. And once she realized it was starting to affect her mental health and her ability to parent, she knew she had to leave. She said, I had to save myself in order to be a better mom for everyone. Ooh, say what you want about Kim K, but that right there, that's the kind of self-awareness therapy wishes it could teach. Kim revealed that life with Kanye became unpredictable, like truly unsettling. You never knew who you were gonna get when you woke up, she said. Imagine going to bed with your husband and waking up wondering if he's planning a Sunday service or running for president again. And she also hinted at not feeling safe, not necessarily physically, but emotionally and financially. She said, I would come home and not even know where the money was going, what was being done. It just didn't feel safe anymore. That's deep, especially for someone who built her life on control, image, and brand management. Let's talk about the money. Kanye's episodes weren't just emotional, they were financial earthquakes. Giving away cars, that's hundreds of thousands gone just like that. And remember, this is the same Kanye who said he was $53 million in debt in 2016, then became a billionaire by 2020, and then lost it all again by 2022 after those anti-Semitic rants. So when Kim says she didn't feel financially safe, that checks out. And let's not forget, Kanye once publicly accused Kim and Kris Jenner of trying to lock him up and compared himself to Nelson Mandela. Yeah, that happened. At that point, the writing wasn't just on the wall, it was flashing in neon. Now here's where things get kind of funny. Kim says her daughter North, who's 12 now, is pressuring her to find a new man. North allegedly told Kim, you need to have a boyfriend now. You're getting too old and no one is gonna deal with this. Excuse me? Not North out here being the family's new Kris Jenner. Imagine your preteen giving you dating advice while you're trying to run a billion-dollar company. That's wild. But also peak Kardashian energy. And yet, through it all, Kim remains Kim. She told Alex Cooper that she doesn't regret her relationship with Kanye. She called it an over-a-decade relationship with 4 beautiful children, not a failure. And that's a rare thing in Hollywood. Most people would have turned this into a pity party, but Kim's brand has always been reinvention. She's the woman who went from a sex tape scandal to billionaire status, from keeping up with the Kardashians to arguing Supreme Court cases. And now, she's about to star in a legal drama called All's Fair alongside Naomi Watts, Glenn Close, and Sarah Paulson. Between The Kardashians Season 7 dropping on October and her new Hulu show All's Fair on November, Kim's living her best lawyer meets leading lady era. But don't let the red carpet fool you. Things behind the scenes are tense. In the Kardashians season preview, Kim drops a bombshell. She got a call from investigators saying someone close to her put a hit out on her life. Yeah, like full-on assassination plot energy. In the clip, she's visibly shaken, crying, terrified, saying she's scared out of her mind as police cars pull up. And if that's not peak Hulu cliffhanger marketing, I don't know what is. It's worth noting. Kim said one of her biggest breaking points with Kanye was when he started publicly attacking her mom and sisters. Y'all remember the Twitter tirades, right? When he called Kris Jong-un? That was not a moment of silence. That was chaos in surround sound. Kim told Alex Cooper that once Kanye crossed that line, disrespecting her family publicly, it changed everything. Because say what you want about the Kardashians, but one thing they'll always do is protect the family brand. And when Kanye started making it messy online, Kim had to pick love or loyalty, and she chose herself and her kids. Now, let's pause for a second, because this isn't just about celebrity gossip. It's also about mental health. Kanye's bipolar disorder diagnosis isn't new. He revealed it himself on his 2018 album, Yay. And he's had multiple hospitalizations since, including a psychiatric emergency in 2016. So when Kim describes her marriage as toxic, it's layered. She wasn't just talking about drama. She was talking about emotional survival. Because when love turns into crisis management, you're not in a partnership anymore. You're in triage. And yet, Kim still found empathy in her story. She didn't drag Kanye. She didn't humiliate him. She just told her truth with that classic, calm, camera-ready composure that's basically her superpower. She said, when everyone's older, they'll understand. They'll see why I had to walk away. And that's the most mom-core, self-healing line I've ever heard from a Kardashian. But make no mistake, this interview wasn't random. Kim's timing is impeccable. Right before The Kardashians Season 7, right before All's Fair premieres? Please, that's PR 101 with emotional intelligence on top. What's fascinating is how this new Kim is blending vulnerability with marketing genius. She's telling personal truths, just as new projects drop. But that doesn't make it fake. It just makes it Kardashian. Because Kim knows something Hollywood still doesn't? You don't need to fake a scandal when your life itself is one long, high-budget reality plotline. And this toxic marriage confession? It's not revenge, it's reclamation. Do you think Kim's finally healing from Kanye? Or just rebranding the heartbreak into another Hulu storyline? And be honest, if someone gave away your Lamborghinis during a manic episode, would you stay or bounce? Because the math ain't mathin'. Let's just say love might be blind, but luxury sure ain't. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this Kim's redemption era or just another chapter in the world's longest PR campaign? Either way, we'll be watching.